Hi, I'm Trishna Iqbal Singh, and I am here to teach you all and tell you more about Access Consciousness. We have these are pragmatic tools and processes that are available to us through Gary Douglas. He's the founder, and this is from US. Access Consciousness is about taking you to a point of creating more consciousness for yourself. Today we are not so aware of everything, and it takes you to a point where consciousness prevails without being judgmental about anything. Basically, whenever we are wherever judgment comes in, wherever you have giving reasons to something, you will start seeing that you are reasoning out, I do not like this because. Wherever there is no awareness, there is judgment, and wherever there is awareness, there will never be judgment. Once you start creating judgments, you have limited yourself to a lot of things, because that's how the universe will show that to you. What Access Consciousness does is it takes you to a place where you have gone beyond your own limitations, and it empowers you that you know. Okay, Gary Douglas started with a question, because his life was not going the way he wanted it to be. So he asked the universe, what will it take for me to be happier and to have a better life? What will it take for that to show up? And that's when he got a download of these points in your head. They are called the bars. There are these 32 points in the head. When you touch these points, there's an energy that is created, and the energy is through your head, and that's why it's called the bars. So you touch them on both the sides, and then the energy bar is created. What the bars does is it takes you beyond a point where you are not a limited being. When we are so we are not operating from a limited point of view. Okay, and whenever we are operating from a limited point of view, what we do is we block things in our body, and that's when the pain and intensity and all of that shows up. So the intensity is actually nothing but your way of communicating with your body. Okay, what Access Consciousness does it, all the feelings, thoughts, emotions that you have, and you think that these are the ones that are causing issues in your life, these are the ones which are conditioning you, rather, we change those for you, and we make you realize that you can uncreate whatever you have created. Yeah, you can also destroy and uncreate all of that. And there's something known as the clearing statement. You can have a look at theclearingstatement.com. It's written on the board. This is what is like a magic wand. It brings up an energy of whatever you would like to change and blast it. So every time you run the clearing statement, you can change whatever you like to change in your life. Okay. Now there are different processes, body processes, that I will be discussing in a bit. But the first body process, the first thing that we will discuss about is called the Access bars. Yeah, Access bars is a set of pragmatic tools which effectively change your thought process completely. They transform you to whatever you would like your life to be as. Okay, we have the power to change whatever we like. Okay, the minute you limit yourself and give the power to something else or somebody else, this is where you are asking the universe to validate something, and most of the times it does show up as a validation because you're not aware of what you are asking for. Okay, and then once the validation shows up, you would like to argue about it, saying that, okay, I thought it would be like this. That's exactly what shows up, because that's what you have already thought of. Okay, and most of the times these thoughts, feelings and emotions do not even belong to you. You are picking up somebody else's projections and you're making them yours. A lot of this does not belong to you. So everywhere you have created limitations in your life, are you now ready to destroy and uncreate all of that, please? Everybody?
Yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, online shots, poison, peons. So it's a different way of functioning on the planet. It is not a very logical way of functioning because we go beyond the mind. We are here, when we talk about access consciousness, it's everything to do with awareness. The minute you have your mind in there, you get into the right, wrong, and logical thinking and polarity. And the biggest destruction and the biggest, hindrance right now for a lot of things is polarity. The minute you see everything as one, the minute you have awareness in everything and everything just becomes one, no polarity, things start to change. It's one energy. That's about it. Yeah, we are all energy here.
Good.
Yeah, and all beings are energy. So you can relate to a tree the same way you can relate to a cat, the same way you can relate to a being. You can relate to everything as energy. Yeah. So what you do is, when you run your bars, what you do is you begin to perceive how much effort it actually takes to function from thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Yeah, and this starts to get dissipated. So for most people, getting their bars run for the first time is actually allow themselves to receive without obligation. On this planet, we do not receive very freely. We are usually only taught to give. And the universe is unlimited. The universe wants to give you everything. We just refuse to receive with ease. Okay, how many of us receive compliments with ease? Or how many of us think that, okay, if somebody is gifting you something, you just receive it instead of thinking that an obligation is created. Okay, so when you receive things with ease, the universe starts giving you more, because your barriers are off. You have become open to receiving things. Okay, so when you run your bars, you're receiving bars from someone, and your entire body and your entire being starts to shift, starts to change. So all the limitations that you have created start to fade away. It's like pressing a delete button on the computer hard disk, running your bars is something like that. And receiving isn't done here in this reality. The infinite universe is continually gifting to us. We determine what we received based on our willingness to be. Okay, and we are functioning from thoughts, feelings, and emotions. We are not. When we function from those things, we are not being. We are doing. When we are functioning from thoughts, feelings, and emotions, we are not being. We are doing. We are not human beings. We are human doings. Okay, and so when we are determining, deciding, judging, and concluding, we can't receive from the universe, because we have concluded that, oh, I am sick of my life, or my life is horrible, or I am an unhealthy person. Okay, the minute you've decided that you're sick, the universe is going to give you more sickness. These tools help you to shift everything around you. Okay, people who do access look much younger than their age, because they are in a different era. The time and space just seems different for them, and they do not fall ill so easily. They have their ways of even getting out of it. If in case something happens, they know that, okay, this is created because of this, I must have created this due to, and they shift that immediately. They shift that pattern immediately. So also in your family, everybody in your family is like, your kids, or they have better immunity, and we have tools, we have processes, body processes, which helps increase your immunity and all of that. So I'll come to that in a bit. Yeah. So what we do is, Getting your bars run begins to dissipate the electrical charge of polarity as it is stored in your brain. So we have created everything in black and white, or good or bad, or right or wrong. Okay, so it starts dissipating that for you. It starts shifting that for you. It is like activating a computer virus of consciousness that begins to unravel where you are functioning from autopilot instead of awareness, refusal instead of receiving. Okay, the bars are 32 points in the head where you have stored all your thoughts, beliefs, ideas, considerations, emotions and attitudes that you thought were important in any lifetime. Okay, when you have your bars run, it's like hitting the delete button. Basically, the bars are a hard drive of your computer bank. It's literally the stuff you have stored lifetime after lifetime. So we carry this on from other lifetimes also. A lot of fears and projections that we have in this lifetime actually do not come from now. We've created them from somewhere else. You've heard a lot of people who have issues flying, some people having issues entering the lift, some people are scared of snakes, some people are scared of something else. Yeah, they have their own fears and own limitations, and they do not want to go beyond that. They don't want to challenge themselves that we can go beyond this. This is because in some other lifetime they have had a problem in that, with that part. You know, water phobia or fire phobia, or all of those. Okay, so these are like deleting those files. We don't need to literally go there. We don't need to go to that lifetime. It's not like regression, but we just, in the current situation, we shift things for them. They are now living in the present. What you really are doing is living in the now. Okay, so we do not have a point of view which was a reference point of view. Like, you know, I made that mistake so many years back and so I refer to it again and again. It's more like living in your 10 seconds increment. Like if every 10 seconds you have a new life, what would it be like? Wouldn't it be joyous? Wouldn't it be glorious? Wouldn't it be fun and celebration? If you were to live only 10 seconds of your life. So living by the 10-second increment, things start changing. You're not holding on to anything from your past, and your future possibilities completely start changing. Because most of the time our reference points create our future possibilities. Okay, so the bars, the brain waves actually slow down when you get your bars run, allowing behavioral patterns, belief systems and points of views that you have been running from childhood to be assessed. Okay, and it is also scientifically proved. You actually start to become very present in your life, and the past doesn't project into your future. Right? So we need to understand that the minute you are limiting yourself, the minute you are not wanting to be outcreate yourself, rather, you would want to know, what would it take for me to shift this? What would it take for me to be the energy of change? Because Gary Douglas started off with a question. And when he started asking questions to the universe, he started realizing that there was so much shifting for him. So Access Consciousness teaches you to be in the question. When you have an answer, then you have already locked the other options. If it's a yes or a no. And when you ask a question to the universe and you just leave it to be, you do not wait for a conclusion, or you do not come to a conclusion. The universe has its own unique way of showing things up to you. You don't know from where the work will show up, you don't know where your money will show up, you don't know where better health will show up. It's somebody will come into your life who will contribute towards your living or add value to your life. And that's what Access Consciousness takes you to. Yeah? So every time you run your bars, your sessions, you add consciousness to the planet. we are making this planet a more conscious place to live in. When we start operating from awareness, if each of us as an individual starts to shift and starts to operate from awareness, we all are contributing a little bit towards being more effective for this planet. Supposing we have, when we have all these earthquakes and all of those, this is actually our Mother Earth wanting our attention, because it is gone through so much, and it's asking for consciousness, it's asking for contribution from us. And the minute you start contributing to the earth and showing it gratitude, things start to change. Yeah. So this is effectively the beginning of Access Consciousness. Then we diversify into a lot of other things which are called body processes. There are different body processes for different problems. Like there's a process called MTVSS. MTVSS. I will not be giving you the entire detail about it, but that's when you do your courses and when you do your learning processes, that's when you will come to know. So these are taught on one-to-one processes also, and these are taught in expansive courses also. So what MTVSS does, it changes things for people having cancers, it increases your immunity system, it shifts things for arthritis patients, and also diabetes. It controls, when you run on your kidneys and spleen and pancreas and all of that, it controls all the internal organs malfunctioning. Yeah, and effect most of the times when your organs are not functioning the way they should be, that's because they are trying to communicate something to you. That's because our body is trying to communicate to us. And as kids, we always know when do we want to eat, when do we want to sleep, when do we want to play, but our parents never allowed us. That's because kids are more aware, and they're completely aware that when they want to do what. As adults, we've completely gone into other people's thoughts, feelings and brains and emotions. Okay, most of us are not even communicating with our own bodies. So when we have some pain in the body, it is actually an intensity, it's not pain. The minute you have a change, what is this pain for? What is my body trying to tell me? What am I aware of that I'm not ready to acknowledge? These kind of questions start giving you an awareness as to what your body is trying to project to you. Okay, and the minute you feel bloated or low or dejected, sometimes unwell, sometimes sick, sometimes depressed, all these are patterns, behavioral patterns, where your body is trying to communicate with you. Yeah, the minute you ask the universe, what is it that I am missing here? What are you trying to tell me? Something will shift, something will show up. It will be like, okay, this was it. And suddenly you realize that pain's gone. It's nothing but intensity. When you
something will pop up in your mind if you ask those questions.
Something will pop up in your mind as an awareness.
Okay.
Yeah, and whenever you feel that this is an awareness which is true for you, it will be a very light feeling. Okay, whenever you feel that something is heavy for you, it's not true for you. Like even eating something, even eating a piece of cake, maybe. The minute you think that if you eat that, you're going to feel heavy about it, you're not okay with it, you're just not okay with it, don't do it. Even something as small as that is being aware of what your body wants right now. Yeah, so you can change everything in your body just by communicating with it. So most of the diseases, most of the issues that we create in our bodies can dissipate just first of all by communicating and running bars, of course, and then running all the body processes. There's something known as cellular memory. Cellular memory helps you deal with the traumas of your life. Like if you've had accidents, or there are scars, or there's a tumor which has left a scar, or there are skin infections. So cellular memory helps you with those. and there is something known as molecular demanifestation. These are something that you can, if there is a like a shift, if you want to change, even like if you want to change the effect of chlorine in water, you can molecularly demanifest things around that. So to say, in your body, like if there is toxins in your body, you can just shift it by running these processes. So there are different processes for different things. Yeah, and we are having a thing in July on Right Body for You. This is Donielle Carter. She's from US. She's coming down to help us and activate our awareness towards being more conscious towards our body. This is a 2.5-day program happening in Bombay, which is coming all the way from US. She's a facilitator through Access Consciousness, but she specializes in body processes and helping you with your body, helping you communicate with your body. Yeah. So Access Consciousness is all about changing your projections of yourself and out creating yourself. And here we are very keen to empower every individual as a conscious being. So if you have to have a point of view where, like any point of view that you want to change, supposing you want to change your point of view about meditation, or about your health, or about money, or about relationships, you can change any point of view about your own self, because most of these things are interrelated. Like a lot of people who are having health issues could be stemming out of a relationship issue, or could be stemming out of a money issue that they have, and that's why their health is, showing up in a particular way. Like if you have noticed, I mean, even science tells us that everything is actually made of molecules. Yeah, even this wall which appears to be solid is actually molecules which are in movement. Yeah, they're just put together so that the movement is smaller, in a smaller space, and that's why it looks solid. Yeah, the minute you disperse the molecules and make it into air, you can shift anything into being space. So the minute you have an intensity in your body, you can use the same thing, you can use the same tool. You can disperse the molecules of that intensity and expand it into being space. The minute it starts becoming space, it becomes light. It becomes very light as air. And suddenly there's a shift in that energy there. Yeah. So there's just not one thing to access. There's lots. It's one after the other. You can just continue going on and on. So we have different levels of learning, yeah, and different even in Access we have different categories, like speaking to, communicating with your body. So it says right body.
One taster?
What do you want to know? What would you?
Any practical thing that we can do with ourselves?
See, this is one of the key things, making that intensity into space. Yeah, I could get you through a kind of a visual right now. Okay, all of you can just close your eyes. Now think of one thing that is bothering you very much. It could be a health issue, it could be a body issue, it could be a relationship with somebody you are not happy about, it could be anything. Any issue that is bothering you. Now start looking at this issue like a solid wall, like a solid structure which has molecules. And now start expanding these molecules. Expand it more to the size of this room. Expand more through space. Make it as big as the universe now. Stretch it even beyond the universe. And now look at these molecules as balls, just hanging in air, as lots of them just hanging in air, in space. Now take one molecule out of that. Take any one ball which you think is troubling you the most and turn it around 360 degrees. Turn it around completely. When you're done, open your eyes and tell me, now when you think of that issue, how are you feeling about it?
Nothing specific.
What did you feel? Now when you think of that particular issue or problem or pain, how intense is it? How do you feel about it?
There's one thought of dilution
Yes.
of intensity.
Yes.
We are breaking the mountains.
Yes. What did you feel? What did you get?
Me,
Yes.
not I think what you said that.
Okay. What did you get?
Dilution may be, again, when I felt and expanding, the dilution feeling comes, but there is no solution. Solution doesn't appear.
We are not here for
No,
solution.
man, it's like this. When you are talking about a certain issue or problem, when the issue comes, you have already thought about it, that how you will solve it.
Exactly.
Right.
Process.
But when you are thinking right now, then that thing doesn't come right now.
No, you don't have to get into the answers.
Okay.
An answer always disempowers you. A question always empowers you. Yeah?
Achha, this is the state where only a feeling of dilution you should experience.
The entire energy
Huh.
of that feeling
Okay.
will shift for you. And now when you approach that problem, supposing you have not such good terms with somebody at home, okay, now when you look at that person, when you meet that person, your entire energy with that person has shifted. It's a very subtle change and you don't even realize it. Maybe you realize it after 3 days or 4 days, and you will connect the dots backwards and you'll be like, oh, maybe I did that expansion thing the other day and today I'm not feeling like that about it.
This process has to be repeated.
You can repeat it for anything in your life you wish to change. This is one of the things. These are one of the tools. There are lots of tools which are available. Being in the question is another tool. We never ask why. In Access, we never ask why. Why is a question where you are asking the universe. Supposing you ask, why did this happen to me?
Yeah.
Okay, so the entire question would be, why did this happen to me and not someone else?
Okay.
Okay, so what can I do or what can I be to change this? Yeah, or what's right about this I'm not getting?
Ah. So solution oriented.
Yeah, it's like, what's right about this I'm not getting?
Okay.
Yeah, everything does not need to, you do not need to make yourself wrong for everything. The situation that has come up in your life or reasoning, there could be something right about it and we are not able to figure it out.
Right. Could be.
And we do not need an answer from the universe. We could just wait and something will show up. Yeah. Well, how did you feel, ma'am?
I can just say that I'm feeling that the room is brighter and lighter.
Definitely.
That's the only feeling that I can get.
That's exactly what I was looking for actually. The room also seems lighter,
Lighter
and brighter. Yes. Because you have cleared off the density that you were holding on to. As beings, we are supposed to be very light. Yeah, we eat food also to be able to be functional in this reality, to be heavy enough for this reality, to be here. Otherwise, food also is supposed to be going into us only for homeopathic reasons. That much food is enough for all of us. So to be able to function with everybody's reality as social beings, we eat to feel heavy and to feel dense and to remain down. The minute you start feeling lighter, you realize you want to go and eat something. A lot of times it's not even hunger. You must have noticed that when you are very happy, very often you don't even want to eat anything. A lot of times your energy is doubled when you're happy. You are able to do 10 things in a day when you're doing it out of joy or happiness. But when you're sad, when you're depressed, more energy is conserved, even though you'll be lying down in bed or sitting in one chair entire day, more energy is utilized to create unhappiness. Yeah, and the biggest contribution to earth right now is that each one of us are happier beings. The minute we are happier, Mother Earth starts feeling a kind of a contribution. And a lot of times people who are unhappy abuse more to others, themselves and Mother Earth. So everywhere in this lifetime or any other past lifetimes where we have abused ourselves, others and Mother Earth, will we now destroy and uncreate all of that, please? Right, wrong, goodbye, pot, pock, online shots, poison, be honest. Yeah. And also our bodies require salt and sugar energies when there is a shift in our being. A lot of times when you do these access classes, you realize that your body is requiring some nimbu pani or some salt or something. Please respect your body and please have it. A lot of people are surprised when the energy starts shifting for people through access. These clearings start shifting a lot for people. So don't feel what's going on with me. Like, just go and pick. Just ask your body. Body, do you want salt or sugar, or both? And nimbu pani is the best thing. You have salt and sugar both. Yeah. So just go and have something which is sweet, a fruit or something like that. You start feeling the change in yourself. The minute you have that, your activity level will be buzzing. Because what is stopping you is your density, like she said. The entire room has become lighter. So what is stopping you is your density. The minute you are light and the minute you are like air, you are just like nothing. People in access really fall ill rarely. Very rarely you will hear somebody, just being unwell or ill or all the time, it's just a shift of being. And it's amazing. Yeah, the tools really work like magic. I mean, people who have actually experienced these tools, you can go to YouTube, you can watch Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane Heer, their videos. You can watch the other facilitators also talk, and on every topic, any and every topic. Like, I have personally cured somebody. She's off her sleeping pills now. She was like a proper doctor had claimed her to be a schizophrenic. She was on medication and all of that. And today that girl is like fine. She's doing errands, running errands like a normal other person would do. She is no more like claimed schizophrenic. And there's also this book called How Would You Teach a Fish to Climb a Tree? It's about how we label children for OCD or ADD or ADHD, and so not realizing that that is their potential. When a person is more aware, he tends to suffer from OCD because he is picking more thoughts, feelings and emotions from people around him than all of us.
Do you mean that brain disorder of OCD and all this thing, like neuron, that spurt and all this?
Yes.
Thing, with access bar, it regulates?
It regulates up to the extent of this person being functionally in this reality. But the thoughts and feelings and emotions, he'll be more aware what's going on with him. Yeah, you do not need medication for all these
He
things.
will calm down.
Yes, because see, when children are autistic, okay, the autistic kids have a very good way of communicating through awareness. They don't like to be touched.
They are generally aloof.
No, they do not like to be touched, even by family members.
Yeah.
The minute you touch them, they will, like, they'll feel something is not right with me. The minute you communicate through awareness, like it's going on in your head, eat your food.
But
Okay.
for access, you have to be touched, no?
No, I'm talking about how to treat these kids. Like everything has a different method of. Bars is of course a hands-on process. MTVSS is a hands-on process. All these processes are hands-on processes. But when it comes to handling these kids with so-called disabilities, they are labeled. Actually, they have a capacity which is greater than this reality can handle. And because they do not fit into this reality, they are labeled, and then they are given medicine to curb their unawareness. So then they feel sleepy, they feel drowsy, they are not able to do anything. And we are slowing down their activity. That's all that we are doing, and it's actually very sad. Because as the title suggests, would you teach a fish to climb the tree? So why don't you respect or be an allowance of that child to be the way he is?
May I point out something, Trishna?
Yes.
That through vaccination, it is recognized that autism is on the increase because of vaccination. There's too much of mercury laced in it. So
That
while we are talking about handling of the child, we need to talk to the pharmaceutical lobby and tell them that, look, this is not done. This is not ethical.
see, I would
So it's a
not like to
two-pronged
comment.
problem. No, this is a known fact.
No, I would not like to comment on something that I am not, maybe I'm not allowed to, rather. Because I am not
Why
a
are
doctor
you
by,
limiting yourself now?
no, I'm not a doctor by profession. So I don't have
You
it
don't
in,
have to be a doctor.
I am certified by Access Consciousness to teach you what I would like to pass on to you as being able to empower yourself.
But I'm just pointing out that when we are all correcting ourselves and remedying ourselves and teaching ourselves
Yes,
and all the things,
that is more in the
I want to point
medical
out that
fraternity.
There is a deliberate finger that is doing it deliberately. I just want to point that out. I rest my case.
That's an interesting point of view, actually. Yeah, it could be it could be created by from anywhere.
It's a 100% manufactured problem.
Okay, that's an interesting point of view. I would not like to comment on that. Yeah, my forte is access, and I would like to stick to this. Yeah.
That's true.
So I wouldn't like to talk about something I'm not aware of. So any questions that you would like to ask?
The
And
first